from that stretch. So that's it. We've given Otto topic, and he will soon be with us here, and he's ready to be with us in the next 2 weeks. So in the next 2 weeks, we will bring him on global perspectives. And why I brought this topic is that there are things we learn when people of his status talks to us. We have brought a lot of people, like Fashina has spoken to us. When Dr. Nicholas is now acting executive director of MVRI, when he was the is it IBA? Yes, AU IBA. He, as their executive officer, he spoke to us. He opened our eyes. You see, the perspective is for us not to, as far as we're in reach, we'll be outreach. We'll connect ourselves from in-reach to outreach, so that we'll be able to know that the world we are today is not only revolving our village setting. No. So that's it. So we'll start thinking global. Now, Amine, you are at your liberty right now to discuss. Give us a small perspective about, because this is the last time I'll speak. The next, maybe I'm rounding up. Give us a small perspective on yes, on Femi, and then from there.
All right. So good morning. Good morning, distinguished participants. Our boss, Dr. Charles Ibe, for giving us this opportunity to also benefit from the experience of Dr. Femi.
Femi, pin two of us. Pin two of us. Me and him. Pin two of us, please. Oh yeah, continue.
Yes, we especially welcome Dr. Otto, who has been on this call to also listen to this brilliant veterinarian who is going to talk to us this morning. As a way of introduction, so we can start, this program has been on for some years now. It has been driving the innovation of mentoring young veterinarians and even older veterinarians into a particular practice. So we get to know new innovations, ways of handling cases, diseases, management, and control. And today we are going to listen to someone who has been in the forefront of driving innovation in the veterinary space and beyond in Nigeria and the sub-Saharan Africa, and also someone who has put himself forward to be a shining star for younger generation, to say that age is not a barrier, neither is resources. So I have the honor and privilege to introduce the man whose middle name is not known to many. He is Dr. Femi John Kayode, founder and CEO of Alart, a company that was founded in 2019. He is a veterinarian and entrepreneur with a very tall CV, particularly that he is an accomplished person with a social entrepreneurship skills. He's passionate about driving the animal and animal health subsector and also production. He is an expansionist. I like to call him that, and he's driven by data. There is nothing Femi does that is not based on the information available to him and how he's going to improve on it. He was elected the youngest member of the Veterinary Council Board, and he chaired the ICT committee that put the veterinary community on a global map using cutting-edge technology. He has, under his employ, several young persons whom he's mentoring to become leaders of tomorrow. He has worked in several parts of the world as an animal health practitioner. He was involved as an Ashoka Fellow in 2018, and a marketing, he made more fellow in 2020. I want to say that his egg of hope and driven by data initiative is something that cannot be forgotten. taking this innovation to the deep hinterlands of this country and making sure that more people are carried on board to make sure that Nigeria becomes a better place. Through his work in Alart, he has directly influenced and supported uh, the empowerment of 32 veterinarians to start their veterinary practices. Recall that sometime he has partnered with the Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association to directly support new startups. He is a loving husband and a caring father. There is every need to mention that because in the face of all he does, family is very important to him, and he preaches that. He is an embodiment of courage. He believes in young people, and he believes in giving people an opportunity to prove themselves. Femi does not write anyone off. You have to write yourself off. Today, I am honored to introduce him and to let us also pay good attention. Let me not forget to mention that he's an author of the book, A Fool at 40. And when you read it, you understand what you're going to listen to this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to us this morning Dr. Femi Kayode, Chief Executive Officer and founder of Alart, to please take the stage and share his thoughts with us. Good morning once again, everyone.
Oh, all right. Good morning, everyone. And I feel really very honored and privileged to be part of today's event. And maybe let me start by saying something I usually say, that I'm not self-made. I'm a product of other people's kindness. And, while I was sharing the message I shared across various groups this morning, I said 7 years ago, and truly, I was in debt. So when I was typing the message, I felt like 17 million, that nobody will take you serious because 17 million now looks so very small. You could spend 17 million in a day. So I said, is it really a good marketing point? But my whole world was revolving around that debt. And I spent almost 5, 6 years of my life in almost states of depression because I couldn't clear the debt. So in hindsight now, it doesn't mean so much now, but it was my whole world then. But I said that to say this, that I'm here not because of uh, not for any other thing other than other people's kindness. People were kind enough to pick my hands. People were kind enough to let me not give up on myself. People were kind enough to show me the direction. And one of those people is our host today, Bluebird TV, Dr. Charles Eve. And I want to really thank you for being that light that has guided some of us young people to the path that we are. And to also state most vividly that it was while listening, I think it was on his platform, he brought in Professor Emipe. Professor Emipe, I will have sent him a personal invitation. Professor Emipe was on his platform, and Professor Emipe drew out a map, just one slide. I asked him of that slide, but he couldn't send it. But I was lucky enough to screen grab. You can screen grab your screen when somebody is making a presentation. So I did that, and I looked at it. There's no veterinary school in most part of West Africa. So from his slide, Senegal had, Ghana had, and Nigeria had a veterinary school. Outside this, there was really no veterinary schools in West Africa. And from that day, I started asking myself questions. So, how do they attend? Don't they eat? How do they attend to their animal health issues? And a few years down the line, 2, 3 years down the line, we have a very strong footprint. In fact, at the time, we had like 5 vet doctors in Liberia from Nigeria. We have extended our distribution to Sierra Leone. We are planning our distribution into Cote d'Ivoire shortly. We have started distribution through Professor Emikpe also into Ghana, and we're expanding. And so I'm very grateful, sir, Dr. Charles, for your platform. And I'm also very grateful for your leadership. We are where we are because of people like you. Having said that, I will spend like 10 minutes sharing my story. I didn't have anything planned, and I prefer that we have questions being asked, but I will share a bit of my story, maybe 10, 15 minutes or thereabout, if time permits, maybe 20 minutes. And I will love that our curiosity drive the conversation going forward. So I finished in 2008 as a veterinarian from Ahmadu Bello University. And ABU drives in this pride that we are naturally ahead. So just that the only issue with me being naturally ahead is that I didn't want to practice veterinary medicine. And honestly, I really didn't want to. And my grades were okay. I was not the best, but one of the best in the class academically. But I wanted to run a big business. And I didn't think veterinary medicine was going to provide me that platform. And the problem is this. Sometimes when we are growing up, we've not been exposed to the potential of something. And that's why we are doing our campus vetpreneurship, which we have done in 3 or 4 universities now, because people operate within their frame of perception. People operate within their frame of perception. If it's your first time of flying a plane, you will think it will fall the next moment, especially if you're looking outside the window. But once you have done that over and over again, you can conveniently sleep. You say, where was I going to? Last 2 weeks or so, and then there was a small turbulence, and somebody is still shouting Jesus. But I wasn't concerned because it's difficult for a plane to drop down. It's very difficult. The amount of machines that are redundant, that are only activated when there's trouble, is enormous. You are safer in a plane than you are in a car, really. So, but why will people for the first time feel like they will fall down and then they are almost tense all through the journey? It's because their brain has not been accustomed to flying high. And I think what we owe our young vets is that vet is profitable. Vet can be big. Veterinary medicine can be big and can be better. I usually put something on my status. The first 10 animal health company in the world, none is African. Like completely none is African. But look at the numbers. Just check the numbers. I hate to say this, right? Before Alart came into the pet business, the person who was dominating the pet business is in the US. He's raking in millions and millions of naira every month. So you can imagine selling 10 40-feet container every month. So why are vets looking for what to do? They've really not been exposed to what is possible with veterinary medicine. And it's a problem of exposure. It's a problem of exposure. I give a quick joke. Somebody came into the city once. I don't know how true this is. And then the door opened. Door of the hotel opened. And the person rushed back and said they followed her to this place. So because all in her perception is that it is only a witch that can open a door. Mm. A lot is possible with veterinary medicine. So back to my story, I didn't really want to do veterinary medicine. So I went to I served in Port Harcourt, and I joined a business consulting firm because up until then, I didn't think anything big could come out of veterinary medicine. So it was while serving my boss then, the woman came in, and my boss' friend had somebody who was having issues with her birds. And she asked those children. She asked my boss then that, please, can I that my vets are having issues. Then he suddenly remembered that I was a vet, so I also remembered myself that I'm a vet. So I went to the farm. It was a problem I could solve. So I went there and solved it. And the woman repaid me by sharing my contact with almost every vet in Port Harcourt. So when I sat down one day, I said, so what do I really want to do in my life? This business consulting would just be training, training, training. And people are calling me here and there to go to farms. So I picked up the courage to rent a small store then in Port Harcourt, rent a small store in Port Harcourt, and it was wooden plank. And Dr. Mike of blessed memory now gave took me under his arms, and that's why I keep saying that there's nobody's journey that is smooth if people are not there. People's kindness is very important. I'm a preacher of people's kindness. See, you will get to where you're going to faster if people are kind to you. Dr. Mike, blessed memory, gave me five pieces of drug to go and put in my plank plank store. And you see, so I sell and I return, I sell and I return, I sell and I return until one day the governor then, the Governor Amechi, was building a farm close to where we were. So when I heard, I went past, I said, oh, this is that. I went to introduce myself as a vet. And, initially they doubted me. Then one day, the person who was in charge was coming to the farm, and I was lucky. I met the person at the gate, and the person gave me like a supply to make about 3 point something million. Then my life changed then. So when I made the supply, I made some profit. I removed all the planks and I put glass shelf because I learned something earlier. You see, and I can share you a funny story. The moment we changed from plank to glass shelves, the secretary I employed then, for the first time, she was wearing slippers to work. For the first time, she dressed like she was dressing to church. She wore a cover shoe, wore a jacket, because where you walk also affects the way you walk. Right. Where you work also affect the way you work. So branding and packaging is an important part. And we vets, we don't do it. Go to House of Pluto. Why won't you pay 1 million for surgery when you are entering into House of Pluto? You are wondering why they are pricing your 10,000. check check the way your clinic is. Check the way it's smelling. Check the way it's organized. These things is not money. It's just you have to just think that people will buy you based on how they see you. People will buy you based on how they see you. If they don't see you like somebody who is serious, nobody will pay you good money. So I changed. I spent the profit into upgrading my facility then in Port Harcourt. And, things really went haywire and we're becoming extremely very successful. But, I still had this part of me that wants to do bigger. And by that time, I think our margins, no, not our margins, our revenue got up to almost 20 million then, which was slightly very substantial monthly. So one day somebody was speaking on the radio and said that he could make us millionaire if we follow him. So I got deceived. I followed him. And that was the beginning of my distraction. These days, one of the biggest thing I fight against is distraction. I fight it, even from familiar faces. So I got distracted and I followed him. By the time I was done following him, I was owing everybody. I was owing everybody. I was owing suppliers. Business has gone down. I've spent money in doing. You see, it was a tough call. It was a tough call. The next 5 years was going to be like the toughest 5 years of my life because even to feed. My wife was going to school and I could not pay. That one day that when she was giving birth to one of our daughters, I came to see her when she gave birth, and I didn't have, well, I tried to forget all the bad things that have happened to me. And I couldn't we didn't have money to pay the doctor then. So they just gave us our baby and asked us to pay later. So you can imagine that level of embarrassment. My girls then were going to a school. I think we're paying 100 and something thousand. I put them down to 70 something. I could not afford that. I put them down to 13,000 and packed my load to Lokoja. A lot of bad stories. I'm happy to pick questions at the end of it when we are done. But so I had to start all over again, but start all over again with a single lesson. Right. See, what you know, huh, and you're working hard on is better than the illusion of unexplained wealth. It's going to take you hard work. I don't know how you want to paint it. It's not something you can jump. It's going to take you hard work. You will really need to work hard. Maybe you have some people who can give you money, but these days I want to just stay focused. And so I had to pick up the ropes again. I had to pick up the ropes again. I had to start up another clinic again. Happy to based on Yupu's question, how I went through that 5, 6 years of terrible pain and embarrassment with my family. Terrible pain with my family. Had to start all over again. But having said that, I want to emphasize three big things that didn't leave me. The fact that I want to build something bigger than myself. So every time those pain came, every time the situation came that I failed ultimately, right? There was still this quiet part of me that wants to do something bigger. And I experimented it also in Kogi 2019. I tried to do something bigger. But a few things went wrong, but I think if quite a lot also succeeded that I think I get very little credit for. It was in Kogi we started the idea of bringing screens. If people remember, the publicity was intense because there was still a desire for me to do something bigger. When everything failed, VetSac also failed in my hands too. Story for another day. We started Farmalat. But I started Farmalat not as Farmalat. I started Farmalat as somebody who has tried multiple things and have failed and have learned my lesson. So I made my wife, when I was going to start Farmalat, I made her one promise that, because things were tough after 5 years of following somebody who has failed, right? So I made her one promise that every time that I don't even know how we're going to finish paying our debts. But I will not sit down when I'm supposed to be out there working. I will not sit down at home when I'm supposed to be out there working. So I pledged to my total commitment to working hard. Right. And I wasn't going to give up on any of those things. Then the second thing I pledged, not to be distracted. So if I'm going to start Farmalat, we're going to build Farmalat until 2030, until Farmalat becomes a billion-dollar company. See, no magic, nothing will distract me from that goal. Farmalat will be number one in Africa and will be a billion-dollar company. So I've had a couple of things. Funny enough, I've gotten an appointment. And each time I see anything that looks like something different from my goal, I'm going to resign. I was supposed to resign at 40, but I'm going to resign from Farmalat at 45. And I think we have a couple of people who are in Farmalat here. And I constantly tell them at 45, and I think they are good. There's Dr. Nancy, there's Dr. Janet, there's Dr. We have like almost 13 vets and people who are non-vet, brilliant people who are leading. And you have to really be a brilliant person to be working in Farmalat so that the younger people can take it off. There's no need growing gray hair, running a vision. I would take it. And by the way, sometimes it could be you, the founder, that is destroying the business. I have the energy to innovate. I don't have the energy to manage. I get bored staying at something over and over again. So once you've built it to the level you want to build it on, sometimes you could be the enemy of that business. So I figured out where my strengths are. And I'm hoping that young people will take the business from wherever it is that we've stopped. So I made another commitment not to be distracted. See, when I go, I was in a young vet's place 2 or 3 days ago, Natty Vet, and I wished for him focus. I have seen one become 100. I've seen 100 become 1 million. I've seen 1 million. So again, I said 17 million, and it took me 5 years, 6 years to pay the debt of 17 million. If a daily, if a daily, in Farmalat, we've sold 40 something million, 50 something million in one day. I had so if 17 million is now something it's not something I even think about really, right? And it took you 5 years or 6 years to clear that kind of debt. So it only means one thing, that time grows people when they are focused. You see, that one shop is your seed to the big part that you want to get to. That one shop. I've seen people stay in one place and move more.
You're breaking. You're breaking. Hello?
Okay, can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah.
Am I audible now, sir?
You're breaking. You're making some salient points. Yes, you are now audible. Walk
Okay,
around your network.
Okay, all right, good. Let me thank you for drawing my attention to that. So I said you could stay in one place. People are watching you more than you think. People beyond what you think that, how did we get to Liberia? I said that initially. It was an invitation. I just got somebody knock at our door and said, oh, I've seen you with this person before, and blah, blah, blah. We're having a presidential.
Walk around. Please, you are making some serious points. Please. You are making some serious points, but yes.
But you hear me now?
Yes. You said somebody knocked on your door. That's where we lost out. We gassed out.
I said somebody knocked, somebody. So we were just working, and somebody came and said that, hey, we have a trip. We have a trip to Liberia to go and meet with the president. And with your permission, we could add you to the delegation and ensure that you're part of that movement to Liberia. So I was the only person in the agri sector representing in the delegation. And the rest is history. 4 vets have been employed now in Liberia. How did we get to Ghana? Somebody reached out, Professor Mipe, and said, see, I've watched you closely. And I think you could be in Ghana. And he's also linking us to other African countries. How did I meet Professor Mipe? Through Blue Blood Forum. To where you're going to is because you're taking what it is that you're doing currently on seriously. If you allow my English to stay that way, right? Pour your life into whatever it is that you're doing presently. That is how things grow. Things don't grow from the sky into the ground. Things grow from the ground into the sky. So let people meet you and find you where you said you were going to be and keep progressing in that place. So that one shot, if you take it seriously, if you polish it properly, if you see, people understand when space is not enough. But trust me, people also understand when you, as a person, you are disorganized. I told us a story. I got some money. One of my friends sent me a message yesterday. He hosted an event and he made some money and he went to buy a car. Is that not a waste of your process? If you cash out on something, why don't you invest it back? See, I drove a car. For, I don't know, it's my wife that remembers it. For 4 or 5 years, I didn't have any need to change the car. I just changed the car the last 1 month. No, I didn't change the car. I got an additional car. So I saw an alert of $1 million in my phone. Why didn't I rush to go and buy a car? because building Alart is more important than the way my ego. If you make money and then you are going to go and buy iPhone 24 or 27, is it 17 now? I can't remember. Right. And you're not reinvesting back into what it is that is giving you that money, then you are short-circuiting your process of getting to the top. So I made a commitment that I will work hard. I make a commitment to my wife personally. I made a commitment that nothing will distract me until 2030. Right. I will stay focused until Alart be everything it needs to be, and then hand it over to the next generation. And the third thing, and I want to end the story here for question. I made a commitment to believe. Nigeria has a problem. Nigeria has a belief problem. So Nigeria is still cheap. I didn't understand this until I started traveling to other part of the country. I was in Liberia, and then the apartment we stayed, I asked them they should make noodles for us because sometimes their food can be very funny. They should make noodles for us. And they charge, is it $10 or $15? $10, I think $10. I can't remember, $10 or $15. So $10 is around 14,000. How will I pay 14,000 for noodles that a malam can do for me for 1,000, 2,000? How will I pay? See, Nigeria is still a very cheap country. See, that things are not as it used to be. I'm not justifying any government, but there's still opportunity in this Nigeria to blossom. There's still a lot of opportunity in Nigeria to blossom. So, but if you don't believe, one of my friends posted on her status this morning and said Nigeria is it something around that a terrible life. See, that thought that something is terrible in this country is why you are not going to move forward in this country. In the middle of how terrible it is, I said when I was starting that in the first 10 largest animal health company, there's no African. So I keep asking myself, so why can't Alart be one? And for God's sake, the market is there. The whole of Africa is over 1 billion. Did God made our brain to be different from those white people's brain? Why can't Africa be? There's opportunity in this land. There's opportunity in veterinary medicine. When I was finishing school, I threw my certificate away that I wasn't going to practice veterinary medicine. Why am I being invited now? Is it not on the platform of being an animal health company? I want you to believe. First of all, believe in yourself. That thing you're doing can be bigger. If your monthly revenue is 1 million, it can be 10 million. It was in Lagos when we were making a revenue of probably less than 300,000 in a month. I told of my staff then, I said, one day we will make 1 million. One day. I told her one day. The day we made 1 million, I think it was there was scarcity of feed, and she counted 1 million cash. Her hands were shaking. She came to meet me. Said she counted the sales of 1 million. It will be an embarrassment now to make 1 million in a day, right? So that revenue can jump, but you have to believe. It is belief that drives results. It is belief that even drives hard work. It is because you believe, that's why you wake up now. It is because you believe. People who have lost hope will not work towards making something bigger. So believe in yourself. Believe in what it is that you do. And please, I don't mind. I know there's a political tension everywhere. Believe in this country and believe in the continent. Ultimately, believe in the human race. God who made us gave us this power to drive the result, but it is through faith. It is faith that drives it. Somebody said that one day human beings will fly. And the dad, who was a clergy, said if God wanted us to fly, he would have created us with wings. Are we not flying today? We are flying today. So believe. And it is faith that brings out the impossible. And so with this very story, so you could see, I'm not like an extraordinary person. I'm just that simple person who have failed, have his fair share of failure, who keeps even still failing, but stay true to the commitment I made with my wife, that I will always work hard until I can make her proud. Then secondly, stay true to the focus I have, that until it happens, I will always show up. And then
You're cracking, Kayode, you're cracking. You're everything to us,
and
minus me.
believe in my
Please
content.
rewind yourself a bit.
And I know that one day we will definitely, I'm very convinced that we will definitely.
Rewind a bit in the last 3 minutes, please. Your network is cranking. Kayode. Oh, we are listening to him, and let's put an this lacuna period he has crashed out, but he's coming back.
Okay, all right, good. So I said, let me end finally by saying that if you see us in Ghana, we believe in people's kindness, really. If you see us in Ghana, you have to thank Professor Mikpe. If you have to thank Professor Mikpe, you have to thank Blue Blood TV. Everything is interlinked. You are not alone. You see, I cannot divorce anything that has happened positively for Farm Alert from another person's kindness. I cannot. And so that becomes a priority for me, to be grateful that other people were kind to us, and to also be open about it, because, you know, this self-arrogance doesn't work for anybody. So with these very few points of mine, I hope you're convinced and not confused that any one of us can get to the top just with the right set of doggedness.
All right, so we thank Dr. Femi so much for that brilliant presentation. If you have known him, you know he mixes very serious things with intermittent smiles. I keep wondering how the number of courses he must have taken in those 5 years of 7 million saga.
To learn how to disarm people with his smiles. No, that's the best.
Yes. Someone just wrote in there. So if you have a question, please, you can.
Emibe is raising his hand.
Oh, Prof is on the call. Okay. I didn't know he was on the call.
Emibe, unmute yourself, please. Emibe, unmute Professor. Good.
Yes,
Thank you.
unmuted. Please go
Thank
ahead.
you for giving me this opportunity to speak. I want to also thank our senior high chief for having this platform, because this is the platform I spoke a lot about opportunities in West Africa. And I could see an entrepreneur deciding to take the bull by the horn and go into Liberia, Sierra Leone, Ghana, and very soon to Cameroon. That tells us that the skewness of having a lot of veterinarians in Nigeria, and the unfortunate, and I say it here because I'm a dean of a school, and we need to be pragmatic in the kind of veterinary education we give to our students. Education has moved from just learning to practical, solving problems in a very innovative and transformative manner. I dare to ask, how many veterinarians can speak French? I dare to ask,
you are back to this question.
How many veterinarians can move out of their place and work in another place and excel? And that is why, one of the reasons why I joined this was the doggedness. Don't stay only in where you are familiar with. Success comes with some inconveniences. And when he was telling his story how he failed, failure is part of success, and we must know it. The doggedness we are talking about is because, sir, you have been the president of Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, Veterinary Medical Association. You could have given up, but you chose to do blue bat. Even at old age, you are still pulling. You went to another school to go and energize the students to be a success. Don't give up. Continue to make this profession to shine. By 11th of June, I'll be giving a lecture on the problem of diagnosis in Africa. We are establishing African Society of Veterinary Pathologists. We need to keep on pushing until Africa takes its place, until we make veterinary medicine innovative and transformative to solve problems. The younger ones have a lot of things on their neck, and they must be able to change the narration. Veterinarians are not poor. We can have big companies, just like you said. And I believe strongly that is the best profession I've ever seen. We have people to point to. We have people to learn from. Let the younger ones be restless for once and make the good use of those shoulders that are lying there for them to grow. Femi, I want to thank you for showing people that it is possible. Blue Bat, I want you to continue to do what you are doing. Even in your old age, you are still relevant. So that at the end of the day, veterinarians will know that we have been trained ruggedly and we can make success in life. Thank you for the opportunity, sir. God bless you.
Yeah. I
Thank
mean,
you so
Otto
much.
is,
Thank you
Otto
very
is
much.
ready. Otto is raising his hand.
Yes,
And Abubakar Adam.
Otto is there. Please go ahead, sir.
Unmute yourself, Otto, please. Unmute yourself.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, I have done it. I have muted myself.
Okay, good.
Thank you very much, Dr. Charles. And I'm very happy that my senior, my supervisor, Dr. Ben, is on this call. And I thank him for whatever he's doing for all of us, not only Femi, but he's also supporting me here in Nigeria. And I already want to thank him. Coming back to Femi, I joined this call because I wanted to listen and learn more about Femi. Femi is my young brother, but is also my teacher. I'm learning about a lot. I almost follow Farm Alert everywhere they are going, and it's another classroom for me. So Femi, really, I want to thank you very much. I knew you when you have started your growing graph. I didn't know the past, your young age, whatever, but whenever I took and I started to learn about you, I am really satisfied of what you're doing. So I'm very happy to join this platform, and thank to Dr. Charles to be able to bring all of us together. I actually also pledge, Femi, I want to start a Farm Alert in Rwanda. Although I'm in Nigeria, but I need you to come with me. We need to quickly start Farm Alert in Rwanda. It's very much needed. Rwanda is a fast-growing country. It needs some of these services. And in the veterinary medicine, we don't have anyone like this. Yeah. So I think it's a time for me and you go and start something like this. It's very, very useful for Africa countries. We need to you need to share knowledge, information, the path that people have taken to move on. Some young people, they have capacity, but they don't have where to start from. So and some people have also the kindness. You have been benefiting from your young age to grow, but we need to put all these two things together. All this we need to cook all these things together so that we get really a good source. Sincere speaking, I think you are doing very well for Nigeria, which is where there is a lot of competition. But being able to be a good leader in Nigeria, it means that you have gone through a lot of learning path. So for Rwanda, where there are no much competition, I think we are very sure that will be successful. So Alart Rwanda should be also on your list.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for this opportunity, and I look forward to discuss more and more about this. As soon as we are doing it, I will be very happy. Congratulations, Dr. Femi.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Let me,
Thank you very much.
let me punctuate a bit. Dr. Otto will be here in the next 2 weeks to talk about global perspective on zoonotic diseases in Nigeria, the control. He's coming back. He has assured me he will be with us. And then Emipe, there's something you need to go back sorry, Emipe said something in Jiffy, but he said it in when he was talking to us. We have West African countries that are French countries. And if you see the way Femi is going English West African countries because there's a barrier. Language is a barrier.
Yes, a big
But
one.
I've spoken to some universities, faculties of vet medicine. Introduce your students to French based on this point. There are a lot of French places people can go on vacation to take French courses, like Alliance Française. Even in the university, some of these universities have some of them have what do you call it? French departments, which the students can leverage on, because once you have this language, you have a key into a place. If you don't have it, forget it. And one thing, before I forget, I don't want to forget it. Everything Femi said here is that we should be human being and not human being. You know what I mean? I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. Human being is that you have been. But human being is that you continue to be. That failure can be a springboard to success, depending on how you handle it. Anyway, we'll continue. Joel, in your case, want to speak. Want to talk to us.
Sorry, sir. Before we take another question, some persons have dropped questions in the chat,
I saw
one
that.
of which have been already attended to by Prof. Dr. Christopher Danladi is thanking for the presentation and has gone ahead to ask, what advice do you have for young veterinarians who are currently battling debt, lack the capital to start their own private practice? Manuela asks, after thanking Dr. Charles and Femi for this opportunity and sharing their story, how do you get people to believe and support you? That Prof has answered that you need to have a good you can start.
You are echoing. Do you have two devices there?
No, not at all. I'm alone.
So why are you echoing? Okay, talk.
Can you hear me clearer now?
Yeah, it's somehow wobbling and echoing. Okay, continue.
Okay, so first question was, how do we, those who those are already in debt, and those
you're not audible. This question is fundamental. You're not audible. This question.
All right, but so I can just take on the question because I can also read
you look at it, Femi, and take it on.
Okay, all right, good. So I saw the question, and then I think I have the credibility to also answer it. Debt happens.
Yes.
Debt happens when you're spending more than you're making. And so that means the equation is not balanced. Or maybe you did something that you were thinking was going to work and didn't work out. So it means what went out was bigger than what's coming in. See, I tell every young person now, if you're having debt, cut down everything that is unnecessary. My phone, I've used it for 3-4 years now. 3 years, I can't really remember. I've had all sort of pressure to change the phone. And I keep asking my wife, but this phone is functional. of function now. See, the way God has created our stomach is that it's covered. If you eat, even if it is gari or it is plantain, it's not glass. Nobody will see it. What is the basic thing you can spend to be alive? Every other thing is unnecessary. Why did I get used to eating once a day? Now I'm so used to it and it's normal because I had savings and I still needed capital to start something then in Port Harcourt. And I asked myself, so where is all the money going to? After I've cut down everything, bulk of it was still going to feeding. So I asked myself, that can I cut down this feeding? Will it affect the way I work or the way I do things? And the answer was like, let me try it out. So one day I was so hungry in the night and I've eaten for that day, but I was very hungry. It looks like I will not wake up the next day. You will not believe what happened. I woke up. I slept and I woke up. So it now occurred to me that, oh, people don't die when they are hungry. So if you are in debt, it will be so stupid to buy anything to meet up people's opinion. Cut down all your costs. And be honest, the biggest mistake I made when I had my first initial debt was that I wasn't honest. I was closing up. And people thought I was a thief. I got that reputation. Everybody was shouting I was a thief. Meanwhile, I was dying in depression. I could not answer people's call. So own up. And go and meet those people. See, the people will look like they were going to rain. Police came to arrest my wife then now. And you see, the embarrassment is enormous. But own up to it. And you know what got my mindset up was one day while I was still hiding, I turned on the TV and they were mentioning Dangote. And then I now googled how much was Dangote owing. Then he was owing Access Bank 300 and something, owing Zenith Bank 200 and something. Oh, he was owing almost all the banks in hundreds of millions. So I asked myself, how much am I owing? 17 million. And I cannot be on TV. I cannot even talk to the people I'm owing. That was wrong. See, this man is being celebrated for owing people. Why don't you just go to them and tell them that day? It was that same day. 3 months, my wife did not see me. That same day, on my phone. When the phone came ringing, I said, yes, I allowed them rant. You're a fool, you're stupid. I allow them rant. When they are done ranting, I said, yes, I know I'm owing. And I'm sorry, but I will pay. When are you going to pay? I said, if I tell you I even have what to eat now, I'm lying. I'm going to pay you. It was an emotional day, the day I went back to pay some of my debt with my wife. So how much did I owe you? I transferred. Some even forgive me. You see how kind people will be. I went to pay somebody's debt. He said no, that he heard whatever has happened, that no, he has gone past that he has written that debt. Or I said, I have the money now to pay. He said, no, in Islam, he's a Muslim. He said in Islam that he has written that off. He was not going to collect it. When you have debt, cut down all your budgets. Stay only on what will make you stay alive. Then be open. People will shout. People will think that they want to crush you. Some people are extremely very wicked, but don't worry about that. Show up, still pick their calls. Then more importantly, you said, I think the last part of the question is for your own private practice. And this is what, and I've mentioned it, but you probably did not. Okay, I give you a quick example. Dr. John in Abuja invited me for his 2 years anniversary. I went there and I was sitting down there and somebody walked up to me behind. And I said, okay, oh, he said he's a vet. He just opened his shop. And he just opened his shop. I said, okay, oh, blah, 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 blah. But he didn't have capital. He said he has been talking to Dr. Nancy. I said, okay, tell Dr. Nancy to reach out to me on your behalf. So when Dr. Nancy reached out to me, I said, Dr. Nancy, do you know this person? He said, not physically, but I've seen the person around. I said, can we trust the person? I don't know how much, but I just said approved product loan from the person. The person sent me 2 or 3 days a picture. I don't know whether the person is on this call. His shop is now full. See, a final story on this. I had an order of 35 million, one single order of 35 million 2 days ago. I didn't have the product. I fulfilled the order without paying a single dime. What you need is a reputation of value that you will not run away with people's money. There's money. In fact, the reason why people are not giving you money is because they don't trust that you will do what it is that you said you are going to do. See, for private practice, Dr. Charles, we bought product from Dr. Charles. Dr. Charles invoiced us without asking us yet. And maybe by Monday, he will start asking us for money. But he invoiced us without asking for money. It's trust you need to build, not capital. That people can look at you and give you product and say, go and sell and bring back that money. It's trust you need. So cut down all your expenses and build your trust value. It's not everybody you socialize with. Socialize with people who can help. You want pet products in Nigeria. I can make it happen for you within the next 1 minute. We gave a supermarket 5-point-something million worth of credit last week. So the money is available. What you need to do is to build your trust capital. Once your trust capital is high, there are people with resources. Dr. Charles here imports a popular enzyme. You just need to talk to him, and he needs to believe that you will pay his money, and everything will be given to you. Yeah. So let me stop at that.
let me rub minds with young vets, cutting down cost. There's one mistake they make, and I'll say it is very funny. While I came back, I came out of youth service. I was struggling. Some of my colleagues had gotten jobs in Glasgow, Pfizer, name it, all these blue chip multinational company. They gave them vehicles, give them houses, do this. They struggle here and there while I'm struggling on my own. But one thing I noticed, apart from few of them, which I can vouch for, somebody like Isuga, I can vouch for, and some of them, but let me not mention names, but I'll mention his name. Isuga is a golden personality on that drive. They will pick babe in this town because they are moving from one town to the other.
You don't need it.
Wait, they will pick babe. And I always say it when I go for mentorship class in the universities. They will pick a girl, drop her, went to the next town, pick another one, and as they're picking, their money is drowning. Unfortunately for them, those companies collapsed into Nigerian hands and then collapsed extinct right now. And some of them will come to work, they will take that vehicle, they will trek home. They'll go back, they can't pay for their accommodation, they'll just land. Meanwhile, if they have built up reserve, if they have built up savings, they would have, based on the experience they had in marketing, it would have helped them to move further. But they collapsed and crashed. Till now, some of them are still struggling. These are fundamental. See, like I told them in Warri, when I went for mentorship drive in Warri, I told them if it is, the environment is prolific with all manner of things. Is it not your money? Those girls will eat you. But let me just tell you one thing. By the time you are on the ground, you are down, they come to your house, you can't even afford them basic things for them to eat in your house or 1 or 2 things. Tomorrow you won't see them anymore. So who's gain? If you think it's water, drink. It's you that will get tired. And it is you that will bust out. I say this everywhere I go. I know my own. At times I can be very vulgar in trying to mentoring people because I need to drive down in their skull. That there are some of these things that are not necessary. 1 minute you do. You lose yourself. At times you even lose your health to eat. 1 minute you do. So we all are men. So many of us are men. You know what I mean by 1 minute you do. Why are you killing yourself unnecessarily? Because devil is at the epicenter. Anyway, Iyoke wants to speak, and then Abubakar, please hold on. Everybody that raised his hands here must speak. Everybody that is raising his hands must speak.
Joel, go ahead. You have the floor, Joel.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I want to appreciate the CEO of Alart for this wonderful presentation this morning. Actually, when I got to know that you're going to do presentation this morning, I said I must follow up because he has been a mentor to me, and I'll be patronizing him. Actually, we are calling ourselves a young vet, though we are no longer young vet because we have practiced for over 8 years. Most time we keep calling ourselves young vet. We are no longer young vets. Then more kudos to Dr. Kayode for the effort that they're actually making in terms of trying to make sure that veterinary business take shape in Nigeria. That was a very great kudos to you. But what I had wanted to ask anyway, you have touched it when you are answering the previous question. I wanted to ask how you actually entered into that debt. Then what made you not to meet up with the debt? And then the strategies that you followed in attending to that debt. Then, but there's another particular one that has been giving concerns to young veterinarians all over the world, and is actually making our profession notes to take shape. And the first speaker actually dealt with it when he's talking about it, and that is the diagnosis. If you come to the area of diagnosis of animal diseases in this country, you find out that the young veterinarians are actually striving to ensure that they put things in place by following a right procedures. But most times, arriving to a definitive diagnosis has been a very big concern to us, even though drugs are available, everything are available. And when we are doing greater percentage of what you are doing in Nigeria in terms of clinical practice is more of blind diagnosis. At times, when you see the animal is this, based on your clinical physical observation and clinical science, we are able to arrive at the diagnosis and start treating. And we are looking at a situation where, as we are expanding the business, the veterinary business in the country, let us equally find a way of initiating this idea of standardizing the way we diagnose disease in this country, because it's giving us serious concern. Most time, part of the thing that is making the veterinary profession not to stand in shape is at times there are some clients that will come to your place to say that they want to get the best out of this clinic. And when you don't have facilities for all those, it is a very big limiting factor to young vets. Even though there are some laboratory labs for veterinary diagnosis all over the country, but I've not seen anyone that is a bit that are going to a particular standard. So we are looking at, as we are expanding this veterinary business, if there's a way from Alart to equally incorporate lab and reshape the diagnosis in this in Nigeria as a whole, because it will go a long way in finding solutions to animal health. Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. And we say, as you are actually encouraging young vets, God will always be on your side. Keep it up. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we have a topic.
Thank you.
We have a topic for, because he said many things. He has a topic for Femi Kayode. He has to, and that I'll sell the expo to him right now. How business survives first generation. Is when you are in almost businesses here, people like Dangote, they don't go to offices anymore. They stay and the people report to them. And how you can get to a level you say, I don't want to do anymore. What makes you to what gives you the courage? What gives you the undertone? So that once, whether you are there, you're not there, things are moving better. He said something that the drivers of your business can even perform better than you. You are the innovator.
Yeah.
And as a level you get to, you're an innovator and you are a driver.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So he would take how, and that is how business. You see, most businesses are collapsing because they don't have people who can continue from where they stop. And when do you stop? Not me, literally, I have stopped. For 3 months, I'll be here in UK. I've stopped, literally. I'll just do the little I can do to survive. As far as I've trained my children and I've done some of the key things I need to do in life. But that's a topic for him, but he will work outside. You know, he's a very busy person. He will come here and tell us. We are generating a lot of topics today. Like the one we generate for Dr. Otto. We're generating one for you. And the Mipe is coming back again. You can see his deep voice is coming
Yes.
back again to wrap up what he has said. You know, what he has told us before on this platform, whether it's working, whether it has partially worked, 10%, 20%, 50%, whether to drive them more. And he raised this topic about students, undergraduates, even young vets learning French and speaking it fluently. Imagine if Femi understands French. By now, he would have been in Mali, Guinea, Burkina Faso, Niger, Senegal. But, you know, at times, certain things limits you. If something limits you, what breaks that thing that limits you? Life is about breaking barriers. Anyway, Abubakar Damu, please. I want to hear from you. Then from there to Rodia.
All right. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And thank you, Dr. Femi, for the lectures. I am Abubakar Adamu, a final year veterinary student from ABU. Dr. Femi has always been my mentor, and I want to ask him this question directly. How can a young veterinarian identify opportunities that you would want to start up in any of the sector? Personally, I'm interested in entrepreneurship, which aligns with what Alart is doing. How were you able to identify that these are the problems and Alart could solve those things and are now making a lot out of it? That's my first question. Then secondly, sir, as Alart now, I want to believe that there are some business organizations that see other business enterprise as a threat and they try to monopolize the whole business industry, sir. If an organization should come up and start doing the same thing or similar thing with what Alart is doing, do you see that as a threat to Alart, or how in a way could they still partner or you partner with them and still make the entrepreneurship sector bigger and larger? Thank you.
Yeah,
right.
let me take you a bit. Alart will bear us witness that there are some businesses he's competing with me, but I'm even making him an inlet. I'm making him an inroad. I have told people come and compete with me, and he retire me. So what we're telling you, retire Femi. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You see, this is you can't do everything. I don't know. There is this bean pod seed plant in Igbo. They will say if you want to finish to pluck all of them, the way it yielded and fruited, you must fall from tree. You go, you climb, you pick the one you want to pick, you come down and go. Another person will come and pick. Look at you, expand on you. And one thing foolish and human, and I've seen it in one vet, some vets trying to close up and be an inlet. And you can't be an outdoor person and be an indoor person alone. And believe that you can be an outdoor person when you are strictly an indoor person, when you are conscriptive. Anybody that is conscriptive in thought and no, people will take over my business, that person is not worthy to exist. We have made them, or have put so many of them, we have put them on their footstool. And what's your name again? Tell your dean to give you my number. Hello? What's the name of Adamu?
Sir.
Yes,
yes, sir.
Tell your dean.
Okay, sir.
Kau, tell him to give you. You know me? Do you have my number?
No,
No,
sir,
I can
don't.
give it to him.
Sir.
Just say me hi.
Okay,
Adamu.
give it to
Just say
him.
me hi.
Link up with him. Once I arrive the country in August, probably in August, I'm coming for AB. I'm coming to AB. Last year, I did it with the final year students to teach them
Okay, sir.
entrepreneurship class. I heard that entrepreneurship class with them. I am coming. Maybe I live in Kaduna, so it's not too big deal for me. So that if
Thank you
there's
so
all
much,
the
sir.
questions you need, I will take it on. Then Femi, please, so that
Thank you
anything
so
I
much,
will
sir.
do later will be will be an add-on or add-on.
I will beg not to answer the second question because we have practical experience in that, and we might not finish today's class if I start talking about competition. But it's real, but there are ways around it. But let me focus on your first question, since you're a young vet, how to identify opportunities. Please listen, Don't at first start identifying opportunities. Increase your scope of reference. you see, your eyes will only see what is trained to see. The average vet now, either you're going into lecturing, most people want to go into lecturing, and I don't blame them because they wake up every day seeing lecturers, right? Then the next thing a young vet wants to go is to go and open a clinic because they wake up every day and the people around them is opening one small clinic. So when we started, who was doing distribution the way we were doing it? There were very little people, the way with the approach we came up with. So I try to tell young people, spend more money improving your scope or expanding your scope. There's a lot you could do. Once you're expanding that scope, figure out which one your heart think you can solve the best.
Simple.
But finally, act on it. Failures are lessons. They are not like a stigma. So when once you're young, see, so now I'll be 42 this year. I have made several mistakes that, my reference can say, oh, you've done that before. It didn't work. This is how best to do it. As long as you keep failing forward, by the time you need like an average 10 years of failure.
And it's good to start in time.
And
because
exactly, start early.
To fail. So that you have time to correct yourself.
Exactly.
If I fail now at 65, when will I correct
Improve
myself?
your
At
scope.
90?
You are too, the reference point for most young vets is too limited. It's too limited. In Kogi, we brought a First Bank CEO. A First Bank CEO was a vet. The one that was before this one that is there. GTB Bank Chief Financial Officer is a vet. Haba. There's possibilities that this so Emikpe, they are dragging to keep him as the dean in Ghana. So it is your reference that is making scarcity to be abundant in your thought. But once your reference is expanded, there's more than lecturing. What about even owning the university? Abi? What about owning that university? Is that not a possibility? Expand your scope as a young vet. That's what you need to invest in. We went to South Africa, and you will just give up that Nigeria is not the giant of Africa. There are other giants. Go to Cote d'Ivoire. Spend money in expanding. Then more importantly, experiment with whatever your heart thinks is right. And you're lucky that Dr. Charles has said you should pick his number. Stay with people who have done it. They can guide you. I have a lot of guidance. I have quite a lot of guidance, and I'm not here to hide all my guidance. They tell me, some even tell me this thing is possible, this is not possible. They will minimize your mistakes, but act on it. Once you fail early, you will need like 5 to 10 years of failure.
So you're advising people like me not to fail at 65.
Well,
no, but let me just say something here. There are some mistakes you make in life. You might not be able to appreciate to correct them in your lifetime. Even in your grave, it will be becoming a recyclable decimal. Don't make incorrigible mistakes. Make mistakes that you can correct within a time limit. I have seen a lot of people. In fact, there's one vet, he was working with a farm. He saw us counting money and felt he can come. And he was handling the farm very well. Immediately he left the farm, believing that he can do what I can do. It's just like me seeing monkey, because he looks like a human being. I start to jump from one tree to, I will fail and crash. So it's life. There are people that are like monkey who can die from one year to the other. Is it part of your lifestyle? Have you learned to be like monkey to be able to get to that lifestyle? That person, before you know it, he ran mad. To be frank with you, he ran mad. and he's dead now, he's late. He couldn't control himself because what was coming to him was not coming. He believes, he thinks that immediately he comes out, he will start counting money. It's not like that. And you can see he was not able to correct his mistake. Don't make incorrigible mistake. That's it. And then failure can be a springboard to success. But depends on how you handle it as a prime strategy. Rodia, I think this is one of the Farm Alert babies.
Yes.
These are neonate, Farm Alert neonate.
Yes, sir. So good morning, sir. Good morning,
Okay.
everyone. Pleasure to be here. I'm Dr. Radia. I am an associate from Farmlat, as you mentioned, sir. I manage the impact department. And to be honest, I've heard Dr. Femi's story quite a number of times. It's one of the advantages of working with the brand. But today's session just it's different. And I have two questions, two closely related questions from the session. So, sir, the first is that going from being in 17 million naira debt to building one of Africa's largest animal health distribution and innovation companies is like it's a wild card, really. So what was the eureka moment for you? What was the point that things started turning around? And I'm asking this question for the young vets, because if you can isolate that moment, what were the things that you feel led to that moment, so that probably a person or two can pick from this and know how to properly channel their energy? So the question is, what was the eureka moment? What were the things that accumulated to you reaching that moment? So that's the first one. Second question is also related. So for very many young people, young veterinarians included, when we hear stories, inspiring stories like this, some people have this back thoughts that we are not hearing the full gist. There are so many things that go on in the background that people don't have access to. But I believe that one of the purposes of this platform, this meeting here today, is such that we can have access to some in-depth knowledge about you and how you were able to navigate it. So were there a person, a lot of people are like, oh, if you hear Otedola's story, you won't know that he's from a wealthy background originally. It makes it seem as though he was able to do everything on his own. We know Dangote's story too. So like a lot of people shy away from mentioning some vital informations that were really key contributors to their success. So like, was there a person or were there people like that? Were there probably infrastructures like that you can identify as factors contributing to your growth, sir? So these are the two questions I have, sir.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Rudia. Well, I thought by working in Farm Alert, I must have answered all your questions. But quickly to answer the first one, and I think that's the mistakes we Africans will make. For some reason, we were trained to believe in miracles. And we adopt that miracle mindset that is, hey, miracle moment. Heaven just came down and said, my son, this is the way to go. Right. So take every day as a miracle. The day that you felt very bad, that somebody disappointed you, a customer didn't pay as at when due, and you woke up the next morning still going to that shop to go and sell. That's a miracle. That's a miracle. So when somebody asks you, you're leaving, let's say, Asukuru to go to Kubwa, and you go to Kubwa, you see, the moving from your gate to the next 5, 2, 3 minutes or whatever it is a miracle. Everything compounds. Good behavior compounds. I don't wait for for a light to shine on my head and say, wake up. Tomorrow, that's when you are going to make 1 million. I see the 1,000 as a miracle and as a step. If it becomes 1,005, it's still a miracle and a good step. If it becomes 2,500, it's still a miracle. Alart must earn this year expanding to 7 African countries. We did 1 last year. That 1 was a miracle. Africa, to celebrate the 1. Every day is a eureka moment. Once you wake up and you can still show up in that your workplace doing the same thing, that's the eureka moment. Don't look for any light shining from the sky. That doesn't is a deception, is an illusion. It happens, but I don't base my life on that. In terms of now, probably maybe there are hidden stories. There are no hidden stories. In fact, somebody said, I read that life is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration.
Do you have Python? Do you have Python in your cupboard? No,
I don't have any Python, sir.
That's what she wants to know. Whether you have a Python. You don't want us to know.
There's no Python.
You know I'm from Okija. Okija. So
somebody gifted me a black cat, and when I was bringing the cat, I asked my wife, I said, are you sure we should keep this black cat? Because one day like this, news will be all over. Then they will say, oh, he brought a black cat inside his house. That maybe that there's still a black cat in my house, but there's no spiritual attachment to it. See, just showing up. I think what we do better than most is just we kept showing up. Yeah. Young people don't show up every now and then. Yes, sir.
You can see the volume of veterinarians. Can you see? We even made allowance. We made allowance for the YouTube so for people to go there. Now we're only 60. How can they learn? They'll be in their closets. Today is Saturday. How can they learn? Is it not when you learn this kind of thing, you put it in proper perspective? I will tell you, one day I went to Femi when he was in the other office to market my products. He led me into a studio. I entered into the studio. They said, yes, they started clapping. His workers, over 20. He said, oh yeah. Before you know it, they started flashing lights left and right, mentor this group. I'm telling you. And he was there as a student. And he didn't answer questions. He didn't ask questions. It was his workers that were asking questions. And I know they must, and I think it was after I gave that lecture that he himself was able to give it a topic. Understanding the concept of time. Is it not true?
Yes.
I think no topic, nothing. But you know, because of the way I've trained myself, the way I've trained myself and the way people assisted me to train myself, you raise a topic in entrepreneurship, I will discuss it immediately. So, you see, being able to learn, continue to learn, strive to learn, drive to learn, there's no way. Okay, you can see from a Mikbe, what a Mikbe just came here and spoke for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Has changed the perspective of farmer life.
Yeah. Exactly.
Has changed the perspective. But people will listen. People will go and somebody will give you beans. You go and cook the beans and eat. But somebody can get that beans and plant it to yield more beans. That same cup of beans, you'll be making money from it and be even eating beans out of it. So that's the idea of setting up this platform. I'm not setting it up for any aggrandizement or whatever, but be it at its main. I plead with you, try to visit my YouTube channel and then watch the team, watch some of the, because there's a lot there you can see on mentorship. There's a lot, but as you are going on and as you're watching, please subscribing to so that I can increase algorithm. So
okay, so Chief,
so more algorithm come away, and then under frontiers. You can see today we have generated 2 topics which I didn't even know from Adam today, and the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yes, we have generated 2 topics. So that is it. So we'll continue. No, I don't think we have any. I mean, do we have any?
I want to ask Dr. Femi a question.
Okay.
I was in a meeting sometime with my vice chancellor. I was sitting on the same seat with him, And I raised my hand. So he said, just tell me in the ear. You don't have to ask. But I want to ask, you see, if you look at the conversation we've had, the Femi story has a trajectory. Someone who didn't want to practice and went to learn something different. At the point he was learning something, an opportunity provided. He gave a solution, and that was it. He started trying his hand. But maybe because ab initio, he didn't want to practice this. He was facing a lot of challenges, like the biblical story of Jonah running away. So he had to sleep in the fish belly for days, for 5 years or so, before he came out and completed the mission. But there are people, many young veterinarians, myself inclusive, when you listen to this, you're motivated, but somehow it appears you're stuck in an already existing system. Maybe in career civil service, maybe in the lecturing, perhaps like he rightly said, because of what you know, you grew up knowing lecturers, maybe admiring their lifestyle, you want to be like that. You didn't really have the opportunity. How can this innovation be brought to bear on this category of people? You're already talking about the students, you're grooming students who have not yet found their feet somewhere. But what about the people that are maybe in the low cadre or even in the higher cadre? Because I tell you sincerely, Professor Mikpe said something. He's been a dean. He has mentioned something very key here. He's been a dean and delivering a lecture influenced a life that has now created wealth somewhere. But I tell you sincerely, many people in those systems are not satisfied. There is no satisfaction because there is no freedom of innovation, no matter how you want to do things. And then somebody talked about diagnosis. I just laughed because I'm in those kind of systems. You want to do a particular even innovative research. There are no even diagnostic tools, you know. So Femi sir, how can the people are already existing in those systems that are not really working effectively improve? You talk about even owning a university. I laugh. I say, this man is talking, NUC. Yeah, it's very possible. It's not going to come easy, but it's doable, really. It's going to take a lot of energy and time. So I want a clarification or a support on that aspect.
All right. So I'm going to give, I will not say a funny answer, but like an answer that is almost not obvious, but what I believe in. Regardless of whatever it is I tell you now, it will not work for you if you've not grown your faith. It is faith that makes people do what it is that they do. It is faith. So again, believe, because we have plenty of religions here. So I'm not talking about faith as in religion faith. It is belief. So when I said that, why don't you own the school? If I were a lecturer, the next point of call would be, how can I have my own university? So why are lecturers not thinking that way? See, resources bend to faith, to beliefs. It's when you're thinking about it that the resources is attracted now. I said when I was registering farmer and we said by 2030 we'll be $1 billion company, I was still owing some money, part of the 17 million in that 2019. You see, people act based on their belief system. So what people don't do is that they want a tool without learning the maturity to hold that tool. Initially I would say, okay, leave lecturing job, don't leave lecturing job. I don't say that, give that advice again. I just try and figure out, how do I expand this person's level of consciousness to what's possible? When your consciousness is expanded to what's possible, even your actions will be different. There's a way you work. I keep asking myself, so why is not an African country in the first 10? Those are the questions that wake me up. So if those kind of questions wakes you up, it means that your actions too will be tilting towards that. And the resources to make that happen comes. I've said this story, let me say it again. It was just opportunity meets a ready heart. All of us listened to Professor Emikpe's lecture. It was just one slide. One slide. He showed a slide of the spread of veterinary schools in West Africa. I say, you don't mean it. So this, I say we got to Liberia, there's no one single vet. The chief veterinary officer in Liberia is not a vet. So, but the reason why that one slide was meaningful for me was that my heart was already prepared, or my heart already believed that it is possible. Once there, you know, they said the meaning of being poor is passing over opportunities repeatedly. You are going to that university, you're going to your class, but your mind doesn't believe. So you are confined to just being a lecturer. If I ever lecture in a hall, every morning I wake up, enter into that school, my thought will be, what the people who own schools, do they have two heads? So but what's driving me is my belief. It's not whether I'm a vet or not. So spend time with yourself and grow your belief. There are books behind now. This is Jack Welch. Yeah, I can show you a couple of books. Was the one who built General Electrics. I can open this book, you see Red Biro. I have opened my mind to frames of people who have done bigger things. You've not seen the best of Alart. You've not seen, I tell my team, you've not scratched the surface of what's possible. This mind cannot rest anymore until it builds something bigger. Because what? My mind has been expanded to a frame. Don't ask for the tool. Ask for the belief. Let the belief, and the belief will come by just listening to people who have done. The conversations are different. If you listen to other lecturers, they will tell you how ASU will go on strike and how the allowance is not enough. I don't participate in that conversation. I don't participate in that conversation anymore. And to young vets, don't participate in any conversation that makes senior vets wicked. You are destroying yourself. I said, people have been kind to me. Professor Emikpe has been kind to me. Dr. Charles has been kind to me. AIG has been kind to me. I can count literally senior vets that has lifted me up to this level. Then you are now talking with another vet and they're telling you how another vet is wicked. The senior vets are not allowing young vets to grow. You are so dumb. You are so dumb. Don't participate in that conversation. I tell you that senior vets have lifted me up. Because it is words that grow faith. It is words that grow faith. When you are with your younger colleague and then they are saying senior vets have killed this career, they are not making this career grow. Leave that conversation. Those people are doomed for life. Yes. Go to stories like us. Am I killing Dr. Nancy? Am I killing Dr. Nancy? Am I not Dr. Nancy's senior scholar? Look at Dr. Janet. There are 3 vets in Liberia now. I hope they are joining. Dr. Tosin, finished from Abuja. Dr. Fortune is finished from Abuja. The last time I saw her picture, I saw that she's even fat now. There are vets helping vets. It is those staying around that very positive environment that grows your belief that something is possible. Leave every conversation that doesn't feed your faith. As long as your faith is fed, your action will improve. As long as your action improves, your life will improve. Begin.
One thing I tell young vets, when you continue saying that the older vets are not doing well, they're wicked, one day you jump into, you wouldn't even know when you cross over to being an older vet. You don't even. So becloud your mind with things that are positive and not things that are negative. That's the LCM of what he's saying now. Becloud, and cloud yourself. Stay yourself in the midst of positive-minded people. If you look at a cup of filled water from the point of half filled, you'll be full. But if you are looking at it from point of half empty, you'll be empty. That's it. That's the psychology of it. But I promise Ahmadu Bello
bet-
University, I'm coming again for the 4th time to mentor them because they are my nearest neighbor in Kaduna. Okay, continue.
There are young vets who cannot serve wholeheartedly because they feel that they will be betrayed, or they feel like somebody will take your star or something.
Some of them go into stealing, from my experience. I'll tell you about 6 vets that stole me.
Sir, why do people steal? It's because they believe they cannot have what they are stealing. If you believe you can have it, why steal it? Why steal money? Why steal customer? There's a fundamental belief problem. You only steal when you think that you are not bright enough to have it on your own.
And not to learn on how to get it on your own. Because the more you stay, the more you learn. You can't work with somebody like me and be stealing. I think you have a future. And those people who stole from me, they never got to their future. They are stealing yesterday. And I'm just laughing at them while others have moved on. Anyway, somebody is a Nejo here. Please, you would have raised your hand. A Nejo, please, you said you want to say something. Has she crashed out? Okay.
Beautiful morning, sir.
God bless you.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm Yemisi Enejo. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Actually, I'm not a veterinarian. I'm into education and entrepreneur. So alongside, I have a small farm, a small goat farm, and chicken, that's poultry. So, I've been running my school for almost 10 years now, and I realized that it hasn't gotten to where its full potential or how I had envisioned. But right now, I'm now thinking of bringing in partners or investors to grow the school. But I'm scared of losing control. I'm scared of being taken advantage of, or making a wrong decision. So my question is, my questions are: how can I find trustworthy partners for my school? That's one. And the second question is, what qualities should I look for in potential partners? And thirdly, how can I protect my interests? Because that's one of my fear. How can I protect my interests and the vision of the school, that's of my school, when entering into a partnership with maybe someone or organization? And the last question is, what kind of partnership is best for educational institution? And how can I get a partner or partners or investors? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. So much question in one, but I will answer it simply. So the first thing I want you, and I know you, Madam Yemisi, thank you for joining.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
And I know your school also. I've been there once. So let me say it in a milder form, right? Somebody, I think Dr. Nancy, one time that I sent me a message that said somebody wants to start Farm Alert, something like Farm Alert. I told her, I said, I will be very happy. Because you see, if somebody does it better than Farm Alert, why don't we support the person? They had work in leading Farm Alert. Me, myself, I'm even tired of myself. I wish I can give it another person the headache. You can copy an idea. You cannot copy the hard work behind it. If it's a growing idea, somebody will just wake up and want to copy my hard work, or copy not sleeping, or copy eating once a day. By the time, it's not all that glitters that is gold, though. Some of them are black diamond. some of them are black diamond. I wish I used to tell them. I tell my team, if any one of you does better than me today, I will resign. I will resign. Like, if any one of you, I have the confidence that you will take this business further than what it is that I'm doing. I said I will resign the next day, because I'm not an ego-driven leader. So I want to encourage people to do it well. There's a hard work that is required to grow in a business. It's not everybody that has that hard work. Everybody can have an idea, but it's not everybody that has the discipline, right? So you have to also be sure. The reason for fear is just an internal security. There's nothing big that can be done with by one person. We're 80 in Farm Alert. 80. When was the last time I was in Liberia? It's been a while. We're 80. Dr. Tosin went to Sierra Leone on her own and established business. The first sale she made was $10,000 in Sierra Leone. Dr. Tosin, I've never put my head in Sierra Leone. I've never been to. The only time was that my flight was connecting and they stopped in Freetown and took me to another place. I've never entered. Dr. Tosin has entered. So why am I not afraid? You see, fear exists, but take fear out of the equation. Nothing big can happen within your hands alone. Then understand where your strengths are and play by it. For school, if you want partnership, right? And I'm happy you're speaking up in events like this. There are people, and I give a quick example of House of Pluto. She has said this publicly. That's why I'm quoting it. House of Pluto, she said she didn't have the capital, but she was demonstrating the capacity to be able to run something bigger than herself. And then one day she went to see somebody or something. There's a way situation just plays you around, especially when your heart is expecting. Now, this might sound like maybe religious or something. Keep expectation in your heart. I expect that we will succeed. So if you keep expectations in your heart, just be running around with that expectation. A small conversation is strong enough to spark. When you're looking for, so if you're looking for a red car and all your mind is a red car, as soon as you're going everywhere, you will start seeing red cars now. People don't burn enough with expectations. That's why they are not yet succeeded. Right. So don't leave out fear. Know your strength, understand your strength, and be confident with your strength. Keep expectations and keep expand your scope. I've said that again. So with this conversation now, it's possible that somebody is here who has money and wants to invest in schools. The person will give you a call. Go to meetings where you can find people with money. And I said on my status one day, I said it's not everywhere you should be. Go to places that looks like your dream. You will find a dreamer. This life, God created red and black wire to make electricity. So where there's light, there are different strengths coming together. So be around those places and keep talking until it happens. Has Farm Alert achieved everything Farm Alert wants to achieve? The answer is clear no. Do we stop talking? Do we stop dreaming? No. Do we stop working? The answer is no. So keep your expectations high, be confident in your strength, understand that one big thing cannot be done by one individual. Once you're stable with that, just keep announcing yourself, keep announcing on your social media. Put what you do, like let it be your identity. Some places I go to now, instead of calling me my name, they call me Farm Alert. It's farm. Once you born that way, I think you will find your path. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. I think we're almost far spent, and we have some of, I don't know whether many of them had left. We had Dr. Otto Muinda, who is the FAO representative in Nigeria. We have Dr. Tunji Nasir, the president of World Veterinary Association, is here. We have Professor Fashioner. Professor Fashioner is here. He was with FAO, and then University of South Africa in Pretoria. We have again, we have many big heads here. We have Dr. Mbafo, but since Amibe brought Dr. Mbafo into this, Fidelia Mbafo into this fold from Cameroon, she has been ardent in following us. And I believe strongly that she will follow us to logical conclusions that will be positive on his end, on her end. And we have quite number of vets, and I'm scrolling. Let me see. And then we have a
Professor
former.
Fashino is also here.
Yes, I mentioned his name.
No, I'm just okay. All right, good. Yes, sir.
I mentioned Fashino's name, and we have Urapa.
Okay, sir.
Uloma Urapa, who was a permanent secretary in Abia State. She's here with us. And then quite a lot of people that are here on this call. I got a stage we were 63, now we are 54. And so be it. And he has spoken to us. And one thing he said, one day I was flying from from Lagos to Kaduna, and our plane dropped dropped an altitude with speed, and people started scampering. One young man beside me was laughing. He said, "In China, it's a normal occurrence." That's it. Because we are not in China, and that's why we were just panicking. He was not panicked at all, because he has been in a place because of their altitude, because of their climate, because of their topography. The plane can easily drop, and then we moved on. So that's it. Fear is a very big, it's an underpinning and undermining factor. He has spoken so well, and he spoke about packaging, and we are going to bring Dr. Ronke here. When you go to, I was thinking that it's all these GSM companies that can build this kind of posh, small but posh kind of architecture. But when I went to Ronke, I saw something that is close to that as the clinic. If there's no way we will not enter that place. Come and go there, will be person who won't enter her clinic because of the packaging. We'll bring her to really give us an experience. We'll be bringing. I'll tell you, I have a connection rod, a connecting rod to a fold that I can get up some people. Even Fashioner is coming up again. He spoke, actually. Part of it is what we are all using to do our day-to-day living. Please, anytime you are in our call, try to find take home. So let me just call it a takeaway. Take away something that will help you tomorrow. We are not here to listen and go. No, we are here to listen and practice. Listen, recall, and practice. We're not here for listening, to entertain you with no jokes. No, we're here to really make you. And somebody has asked this. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Dr. Musa Inua, the immediate past chief veterinary officer of the country, Nigeria. He's here with us. In fact, he's the one that asked that question. Why come the deans are not here? You can't force them. I know that most deans are in Bluebird platform, and most times, we put the advert on Bluebird platform. We won't force people. We take a horse to stream, but we won't force a horse to drink water. So that is it. We take a horse, and somebody like me, I have taken it upon myself to move from one faculty or the other. Two times I've been to University of Ibadan. Ahmadu Bello University, I've been there 3 times. I've been to, Makurdi, University of Agriculture, Makurdi. I've been there once, and then I went there again the other time. In fact, I was the first speaker, guest lecturer to University of Jos. And Professor Lombin has told me that she will bring me early in January to come again, because most of those students I spoke to, most of them have graduated. She's bringing me in January. So we're not yet to fix a date. I've been going with my efforts and with my money, and one thing I don't collect is somebody giving me a gratification for coming. No, I don't take it. Some faculty have said, what can I offer you? I say, please, this is my passion. I fund my passion. Most times you can fund your passion. That's why it's a passion. It makes me happy. Like what Femi is saying today. I'm the happiest person today. From here now, I'll go and take my food. I eat 2 times a day like him. There's a level you reach in life. 1 or 2 things will start cropping up. You start regimenting your food. So why are we killing ourselves over nothing? Apart from doing our basic things and basic needs. If food is my basic, is a problem to me, I think I've conquered it. Eating food, what I'll eat. So please, I'll still, just like somebody said, like Dr. Otto said, one or two people said there that we I mean they said it, that we should instead of, and then Femi too, you should set up your platform of this mentorship. And then with, just like you said, these young minds, don't tell people that older people are, this is what I formed in my mind. But when you form that somebody is wicked, how can you jump past that person and then even employ? That's it. So that's what we'll be thinking. I'll not be thinking negative. To be negative minded, to me, is a problem. That's why I use this perspective anytime I'm mentoring people. If your cup is half full, you can drive it up or drive it down, depending on the prism through which you are viewing it and your mindset. The problem is your mind. Oh, this, even if it's 10% full, you can make it the 90%. Can make it up, or you can lose it. You can become 100% empty. So these are the things we tell people. But a country that are 200 million Nigeria that must eat products that were part of it to be made. Animal health. Tell me an animal that is not healthy that will give you egg, that will give you milk. And then you say people are poor. And I'm telling you, if we really had strategized our profession and strategized our livestock economy, 15,000 vets were in the country. Poultry alone can consume none of them. If we start thinking about egg powder, all the cocoa beverage companies like Milo, they are using cocoa, they are using egg powder. And most of 95% of this egg powder, if not 98%, are coming from abroad. And you are paying salary of workers abroad. How can't we do our own, package our own, so that you will start producing egg powder as indirect demand for egg production, for indirect demand on egg production. So these are things. So I think on this, we were trying to round it up. I don't think any other person. Hey, Fashioner, please, Fashioner, give us just 3 minutes summary so that we end. Professor Fashioner, I'm seeing the Nathaniel Bakura. Professor Fashioner, please, your words are laced.
No, good afternoon, sirs and
yes.
Ma. Thank you very much for inviting me for this forum. Actually, I don't think I have much to add to what had been said, because it's more about entrepreneurship, and really a lot had been said, and I hope that the young people will really take up those challenges. You know, the first thing, if you don't have that belief in yourself, you can hardly move anywhere. I recall when I first applied for my international assignment, I had my first degree alone then. And I remembered getting to the interview, I met some of my professors that was my teacher, immediate teacher, when I was in school. And I was feeling small in that meeting, say, hey, with all these professors, will I have a chance? And I tell you, I got that opportunity, and that was my first travel outside the country, fully funded and everything. So that point of faith in yourself, believing in yourself, believing you can do it, immediately after your graduation, see yourself as equal to anybody. It doesn't stop you from learning under tutorship of senior colleagues ahead of you. But at least you need to have that faith in yourself. And this becomes the driving force that push you forward. And as had also been emphasized, the senior colleagues in the profession are not there to witch hunt you or to make sure that they drown you in the midst of professional growth. They are there to encourage you. But as we know, a lot of things do happen in a country like Nigeria. But if you really pick your right mentor and you move with them and you are ready to learn, you know that our field is both an art and a science. If you are willing to learn, you'll find out that the opportunity to growth is really there in the profession, and nobody except you can stop yourself. That's how I will like to sum up this. Thank you very much to all the speakers, Professor Emikpe, Femi, and the Bluebird platform that made this possible. We really valued your input. Thank you very much. Over.
Yeah, Dr. Amina, you can go for your wedding, and leave us alone.
Thank you very much, Chief.
Yes, you can go. Oh, thank you for giving us this time.
We're almost rounding up. I think we could stay to the end.
Okay, no problem. You know, he's a professional, he's a lecturer, a vet, a professional MC. There is this my friend, don't laugh. Oh. There is this my friend. He has gotten to the level of MC that if you don't give him 1 million naira, he will not come for an occasion. I'm talking about occasions where governors, where these are big Igbo brothers are. If you don't give him 1 million naira, he won't anchor. And when he anchors it, in fact, he got a stage. He was giving senior special assistant to Obiano, the governor of Anambra State, on praise singing. Let me just the job they gave him. And one day I was watching. Oh, praise, that's MC. MC is praise singing. When you praise sing, there was one day I was listening. I saw him talking. This is my governor in whom I'm well paid. The governor was happy coming in. He was anchoring the occasion as the senior special assistant. On media, they just call him media, but I know it's on praise singing. To shout. So you can get what I'm saying, that you can get to a level you can be SSA to a governor. Still, because you have this way of comic way of anchoring your work. So we are praying that you grow from strength to strength. So I think at this stage, can we call it a day? Well, Professor Lufunke Davids is here, the immediate dean of Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, University of Ibadan. Please, Professor Funke Ola Davis. So one issue cropped up there. Your deans are not coming to learn and see how we can translate. Learning
yes, sir.
and translate this thing to the ground. That's the problem. Amibe who is a product of UI, has spoken on. We need vets should learn French. I can't learn French now. I'm old man. You apart from saying parlez-vous, I can't. I can't learn
have
French.
a meaning, no?
Parlez-vous, comment t'appelles-toi? But you see, when they learn the same thing, Fashioner said here is the same thing Amibe said when we had him on the call. That how can somebody for 6 years in a university, there's a place they can learn French, like Alart Français. I know there's Department of French in UI where they can learn French. They can even be part of their elective courses. So that when they come out, they invade the French-speaking West African countries. The way Femi will tell me, and I'm happy he's going to Cote d'Ivoire, and he needs interpreter to bring him into Cote d'Ivoire. There's a barrier already. I'm happy that he's moving from English-speaking countries to French-speaking countries in West Africa. And all are bound. Africa is divided into two, French-speaking, English-speaking. So, this is limiting him, and he's trying to break that barrier. Maybe he's coming to, what do you call it? He's coming into Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. We'll make him break that barrier. Because there are a lot of jobs in West Africa. They don't have veterinary students. Some of them produce veterinary nurses who are veterinary doctors. But veterinary doctors will go there and show the difference. So we need students to start learning French as an instrument, as a driving of other countries, West African countries. So, and then they need to be, even our guest lecturership, entrepreneurship should be mandatory. That students should, I don't want a situation just like I came out. I didn't know what's happening outside. I just came out and I started seeing hell in this world. I started seeing hell, unemployment. For me to start fighting unemployment, it was really the greatest fight. It's not that easy. But if I had built up my machine from the university, I would have been better. In the university, if you call my name, my parents will come and say Charles Ibe. Nobody knew me as Charles Ibe. They were calling me BBC because I was anchoring a lot of news items, moving from one place to sending news. When I came out, I was to build a company. I said, "Look, it's BBC. How can I convert BBC to a company?" That's why we have this Bluebird company. That's the origin of this Bluebird company. So that the life they live in school, they will continue with it when they're outside school, just to eke out a living. So thank you very much. And Bafo is raising her hand. Oh. Why not? Fidelia, okay, just please 1 minute. We are time. Unmute yourself and for 1 minute, please. Fidelia Bafo from Cameroon. Has she gone? You can speak. Unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof, for giving me the floor. I really want to appreciate.
I'm not a professor. I'm not a professor. I'm a trader, entrepreneur.
Okay, thank you
Before
very much.
professors would drag me to court, I beg.
I want to appreciate the speaker for today, because what he has given out as his lecture is really educative. I have benefited so much from it, and I think that it will helping me to pass some of this information to the students I am taking care of in the University of Boya. So thank you very much, our speaker, for today. I'm very grateful, and greetings to all the other members in the panel. Thank you, sir.
Okay, that's all. Thank you, Bafo. Bafo has been very, very strict in being part of us. It's been part of us. So please, like I said, try to be human being, continue to be, and not human being that you have been. B-E-N. Be human being. Don't be human being. That is you are being. That is be human being. That is you continue to be. Thank you very much. I think we should end it now. Femi, I'll speak with you right now.
Okay, Professor Alart Davis did not speak. You called her, but you didn't.
Okay, Alart Davis, huh? Oh, yeah.
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody.
Don't mind
Actually,
Alart
Femi
Davis.
brought me here.
Don't mind Alart
Anywhere I
Davis.
see Femi, anywhere I see Femi, I'll
You
be
know, Alart
there.
Davis, when
You know, but the rain
she
has
had
been
my
very
name,
disturbing.
when she had my name,
So
she thought she was my senior until when I presented
So let
myself.
me thank Femi so much for dishing out this much knowledge. These are things that people go to Harvard and other schools to learn, and I believe it's going to benefit many more people. And as per French, maybe I should just throw this open. I'm sure Femi knows about it. Dr. Vakuru actually threw this open. You know, it was a challenge he threw open to us then, that if we could start French in our schools, that he was going to do something, you know, for us. And honestly, we did. We started then. But you know, our Gen Z, they don't really have that tenacity, you know, to learn things that are new. But I believe it's already ongoing, and I believe we're going to have more results. So French is in fact, it is a language that we must all learn, because we know that in Africa, many more countries speak French than English. So I believe our schools will take up this challenge, and it's going to be a better thing for us as veterinarians. No vet should be out of job. And I believe this will happen very soon. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye, Ibe. Thank you for what you're doing. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Don't mind her. She thought she was my senior. Until by the time I unfolded myself, she ran.
Oh, Ibe.
She ran. And then she saw my gray hair, she ran. Maybe she was in secondary school when I was in final year. Is that okay?
That is not true, Baba Ibe. No.
1987. Hello? You know, I threw my check. 1987 when I graduated. Where were you, ma? That's okay. Well, it's nice. Okay, please, let's fold up. Femi, we will speak after this so that we'll know how we'll continue. Because of these two topics we're raising. Okay, thank you very much and have a wonderful time. Bye.
All right, thank you, everybody. Please have a wonderful weekend. Thank you. Well done.
Dr. Roddy is giving us, is it ice cream? It's digital ice